The evening rush had barely settled when Alexander Reed, one of the most powerful billionaires in the city, stepped out of his armored SUV. His security team moved ahead, clearing his path toward the restaurant where he planned to meet an investor. But he wasn't thinking about business. He was thinking about his daughter, Maya, the one person who made him leave boardrooms early. He took 2 steps toward the entrance. Then stopped. Across the street, right beside a closed flower shop, he saw Maya sitting on the ground, legs crossed, backpack open, notebook balanced on her lap. She wasn't alone. A girl, maybe 14, maybe 15, sat beside her. Dirty clothes, tangled hair, worn-out slippers. A homeless girl. But what shocked Alexander wasn't their difference in appearance, it was what he saw next. The homeless girl was teaching his daughter math. No, you're mixing the signs, the girl said gently, pointing at Maya's notebook. Try switching these 2 numbers. See, it makes the equation easier. Maya's eyes lit up. Whoa, you're right, that actually works. The girl smiled shyly. Yep, you're smart. You just need someone to explain it properly. Alexander felt his pulse spike. Security froze. Drivers stared. His daughter, his only child, was studying on the ground with a girl who looked like she had slept under a bridge. What on earth? He whispered, already marching forward. Sir, one guard asked. Should we intervene? No, Alexander said sharply. I'll handle this. As he approached, he heard Maya laughing. She never laughed during lessons. Not with the 7 expensive tutors he'd hired. Not with the education apps. Not even with him. He reached them. Maya. His voice came out firmer than he intended. She turned quickly. Dad, hey, look. She helped me solve the algebra problem Ms. Dalton gave me. I finally understand it. Alexander looked at the girl. She shifted back instantly, fear flashing in her eyes. She clutched her small, worn-out backpack, as if she expected him to take it away. I wasn't doing anything bad, sir, she said quietly. She just asked me for help. I swear. Maya frowned. Dad, don't be scary. She's really nice. Alexander looked down at the girl. What's your name? She hesitated. Lila. How old are you? 14. And why are you teaching my daughter out here on the pavement? She swallowed hard. Because, she asked. I wasn't trying to cause trouble. Alexander studied her. She was terrified. Not guilty. Terrified. That alone made him pause. Maya, he said, turning back to his daughter, why were you sitting here? You know you're not supposed to wander off. I didn't wander. Maya pointed down the street. I was waiting for you. Then I saw her drawing in her notebook, so I asked what she was doing. Dad, she's super smart. Like, really smart. Lila lowered her head. I'm sorry if I did something wrong. You didn't, Maya said firmly. Alexander exhaled. His instinct told him to take Maya away immediately. But something about Lila, something in her voice, something in the way she explained the math. Where are your parents? He asked. Her shoulders stiffened. I don't have anyone. That hit him harder than expected. Before he could respond, thunder rolled in the sky. A storm was coming fast. The wind grew cold. Lila hugged her backpack closer, like she was preparing to sleep outside again. Maya looked at her father. Dad, can she come somewhere dry? Just for a bit, please. Alexander hesitated. This wasn't part of his schedule. This wasn't something men like him ever did. But Maya was staring at him with those wide eyes he could never refuse. He nodded reluctantly. Fine, come inside, just until the rain stops. Lila froze. Me, inside a restaurant? Sir, I don't think they'll let me. I'm like this. It's okay, Maya said. My dad owns the building. Lila's eyes widened. Owns the building. Alexander didn't correct her. He simply gestured for her to walk with them. Inside, everyone stared the moment they saw the girl. Whispers rose. A hostess stepped forward quickly. Sir, do you want me to ask her to? No, Alexander cut in. She's with us. The hostess stepped back instantly. Lila walked beside Maya, shrinking into herself as people whispered and judged. But Maya held her hand and pulled her close. Alexander watched them as they settled into a private booth. He expected Maya to start eating or playing with her phone. Instead, she handed Lila a menu. You can pick something, Maya whispered. Lila shook her head quickly. No, I'm not supposed to eat in rich places. Saying it broke Alexander a little. You're allowed to eat here today, he said. Order anything. Lila blinked fast, as if fighting tears. A sandwich, if that's okay. Order 2, Maya said. And fries. Alexander found himself staring at the girl again. Something about her posture, her careful speech, her calm teaching earlier, she didn't behave like someone uneducated. Or lost. There was something more. Where did you learn to solve algebra like that? He asked. Lila looked down. I used to go to school, before. Before what? Alexander pressed gently. Before she answered, the waitress came to take orders. Even she hesitated when she saw Lila, but Maya smiled at her so brightly that the waitress softened. As soon as she left, Lila offered small pieces of information. My mom used to teach me at home. She wanted me to be something someday. But she got sick. And then everything went wrong. Alexander sat back slowly. Maya squeezed Lila's hand. The storm outside broke open, rain pounding heavily. Inside that small booth, something unexpected formed. Something Alexander never planned. A connection. And something in his chest whispered that what happened next, what he chose to do next, could change this girl's entire life. Lila, he said quietly, I want to ask you something important. She looked up nervously. Yes, sir. Would you like to continue teaching my daughter? Her eyes widened. Teach her? Like a tutor? Yes, he said. A real one. Maya gasped softly. Dad, yes, please. Lila stared at both of them, confused, overwhelmed, speechless. But, sir, I'm homeless. I know, Alexander said calmly. And that's exactly why I'm asking. Lila's mouth opened, but no words came out. She kept shaking her head like the offer didn't make sense. Sir, I don't think you understand. I sleep under a bridge near the old station. I don't have clothes. I don't even have a proper bag. People cross the street when they see me. I can't be a tutor. Yes, you can, Maya cut in. You taught me better than all my tutors. Alexander nodded. Talent doesn't disappear because someone's life gets difficult. But people will talk, Lila whispered. They already talk, Maya said. And I don't care. Alexander leaned forward. Lila, I'm not offering charity. I'm offering a job, a real one. You help my daughter with school. In return, I'll make sure you have a safe place to sleep, clothes to wear, and food to eat. Lila clasped her hands tightly. Why me? You could hire anyone. Because she actually understands me, Maya said simply. And she listens. Lila's eyes watered, something she tried very hard to hide. She wiped her face with the edge of her sleeve, embarrassed. The waitress returned with their food, placing plates on the table. Lila thanked her softly, then immediately tried to push half her sandwich toward Maya. You don't have to share, Maya said. Lila shook her head. It's habit. I'm used to saving food. Alexander's jaw tightened. He'd met powerful people in every country, but in that moment, watching a child ration her sandwich out of survival, something struck him deeper than any boardroom deal. He didn't just want to help. He needed to as they ate. Maya talked nonstop about school, about how her teachers always rushed through lessons. Lila listened, nodding, adding explanations whenever Maya got confused. Alexander watched the two of them interact with an ease he had never witnessed between his daughter and any adult tutor. He leaned back, studying Lila. So, will you accept the job? Lila swallowed hard. What if I fail? You won't, Maya said immediately. And if you do, Alexander added, then you'll learn and get better. That's how tutors are made. Lila hesitated one last time. Then she nodded slowly. Okay, I'll try. Maya squealed and hugged her. Lila froze, stunned, as if she hadn't been hugged in years. Alexander smiled. A small, rare smile. Good. Then we start tomorrow. But the moment they stepped outside after the meal, everything changed. The rain had slowed, but the sky was still dark. As they headed toward Alexander's car, two security guards waited. One of them, Thomas, frowned when he saw Lila. Sir, is everything all right? We saw a homeless girl inside. She didn't cause trouble, did she? Alexander didn't answer immediately. He wanted to see Lila's reaction. She instantly stepped away, heart in her eyes. I should go. Thank you for the food. I'll remember it forever. I won't bother you again. Maya grabbed her hand. You're not going anywhere. But Lila was already backing away. People like you shouldn't walk with someone like me. I'll get you in trouble. Alexander raised a hand. Stop. His voice froze her in place. He walked closer and lowered his tone. Lila, never say that about yourself again. She swallowed. But, it's true. No, it's something the world told you until you believed it, but I'm telling you something different. You helped my daughter today. You gave her what no one else could. That means you already matter more than you think. Lila's lips trembled. A single tear fell. Sir, Thomas said, still unsure. Are you sure we're letting her come with us? Alexander turned sharply. I don't pay my staff to question every decision I make. I pay you to follow instructions. Yes, sir, Thomas said quickly, stepping back. Lila looked terrified again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause trouble. You didn't, Alexander said. Now come. I'm driving you somewhere safe. The car door opened. Lila stared inside at the leather seats, the warm lights, the scent of new upholstery. She hesitated for a long second before Maya tugged her in. During the ride, Maya fell asleep with her head on Lila's shoulder. Lila didn't move, didn't breathe too loudly, afraid to disturb her. Alexander drove quietly, studying Lila through the rear mirror. She stared out the window, watching buildings pass like she didn't belong among them. He finally spoke. Where do you usually sleep? Lila hesitated. The old railway station, behind the loading dock. That's dangerous, he said. I know. Do you want to go back there tonight? Her voice cracked. No, then you won't. She lifted her eyes, confused. Where are you taking me? To a safe place, he answered. Somewhere warm. Sir, I've never had somewhere warm. You do now. He turned the car into a private road, leading to one of his guest houses, a small, secure residence used for visiting partners. The property lit up automatically as the car approached. When the gates opened, Lila's eyes widened again. This place is huge. It's simple compared to my real house, Maya mumbled sleepily. Lila froze. Simple. Alexander parked. Come inside. I need to show you something. He led her into a quiet room at the back of the house, with a small bed, clean sheets, and a bathroom. This will be your room, Alexander said. Lila's breath hitched. Sir, I can't stay here. Yes, you can, Alexander said. And you will. She covered her mouth with her hands. I don't deserve this. Alexander stepped forward. You deserve safety. Every child does. A tear slipped down her cheek. She nodded weakly. Thank you, sir. Before he left, he paused at the doorway. Lila, yes, tomorrow, we begin your job. You won't be alone anymore. Her voice broke. Okay, and for the first time in years. She slept in a bed. Lila woke up before sunrise, blinking in confusion at the soft blanket wrapped around her. For a moment, she didn't move. She wasn't used to warmth. She wasn't used to silence. She wasn't used to safety. She sat up slowly, touching the pillow as if it might disappear. For a few seconds, she simply breathed, letting the reality sink in. A knock sounded on the door. Lila. Alexander's voice was calm. Are you awake? She scrambled up, panicking. Why yes, sir. 1 second. She tried to fix her hair with her fingers, then opened the door quickly. Alexander stood there, dressed for the day, holding a small bag. I had someone pick up a few essentials for you, he said. Clothes, toiletries, nothing fancy, just things you need. Lila took the bag with both hands as if it were treasure. Thank you, sir. I'll take really good care of everything, I promise. You don't have to promise, he replied. Just use them. Maya peeked from behind him, bouncing with excitement. Lila, are you ready for breakfast? The chef made pancakes. Lila blinked. Pancakes. Yes, with syrup and fruits. Maya took her hand. Come on, let her freshen up first, Alexander said. We'll meet you in the dining room. Lila nodded gratefully and closed the door again. She opened the bag and gasped. A clean shirt, soft jeans, a sweater, a toothbrush, shampoo, soap. She touched the clothes, her eyes watering. Then she took the longest shower she'd had in years. When she came downstairs, Maya waved at her. Wow, you look so nice. Lila blushed. Thank you. They sat to eat, and even though the food was simple, Lila treated each bite like it was precious. Alexander noticed. He also noticed how she tried to eat slowly so she wouldn't look greedy. When breakfast ended, he gestured for her to follow him into his office. Lila, he said once the door closed, if you still want to tutor Maya, we need to set some rules and expectations. Is that okay? She nodded quickly. Yes, sir. Good. First, you'll live here for now, it's safe. Her eyes went wide. Live, here, for now, he repeated. Until we figure out something long-term. Her voice trembled. I've never lived anywhere nice. You do now, he said again, firmly. Second, you'll focus on helping Maya after school each day. She learns better with you. I'll do my best, Lila whispered. I know you will. Third, he paused. You will not call yourself undeserving again. Lila froze, stunned. Children don't choose homelessness, he said quietly. Life put you there, not your choices. Her throat tightened. Sir, I don't know what to say. Just say you'll try. She nodded slowly. I'll try. Good. Now let's go. Maya's waiting. As they left the room, Maya skipped beside them, humming happily. She had never been this energized. But the peace didn't last. Later that afternoon, when Alexander's house staff arrived for their shifts, the whispers began immediately. They stared at Lila with suspicion, some with disgust. One maid whispered loud enough for Lila to hear, "Why is that girl here? She looks like she came from a dumpster." Another replied, "I heard the boss found her on the street. Imagine letting someone like her live here." Lila shrank, staring at the floor. Maya instantly grabbed her hand. "Ignore them," she whispered. "They always gossip. They did the same when I got braces." But the comments didn't stop. When they walked through the hallway, one guard blocked their path. "Miss Reed shouldn't be near strangers. This girl needs clearance." "She has clearance," Maya said firmly. "No, she doesn't," the guard said. "She's not on the staff list. The boss didn't authorize, he did." Maya crossed her arms. "He said she lives here." The guard frowned. "Lives here? That can't be right." Lila tugged on Maya's sleeve. "Let's just go another way." "No," Maya snapped. "You're my friend." The guard hesitated, uncomfortable. "Look, I'm just doing my job. I don't want trouble." "But she can't just walk around like she owns the place." "I never said I owned anything," Lila whispered, voice breaking. I'm just trying to help Maya." The guard sighed. "I'll report this to the boss." He walked off. Lila looked down. "Maybe I shouldn't be here." "Yes, you should," Maya insisted. "My dad will fix it." But Lila wasn't convinced. Later, when Alexander returned from a meeting, he found Lila standing alone near the staircase, twisting her fingers nervously. "Are you all right?" he asked. She hesitated. "Sir, maybe this is a bad idea. The staff doesn't want me here. They're uncomfortable, and maybe they're right. I don't fit and I don't look right. I don't behave right. I don't know how to live in a place like this." Alexander folded his arms. "Look at me," she did. "You don't have to fit in. You don't have to impress anyone. You're here because you help Maya. That's all that matters." But the guard said, "I'll take care of it." "Sir, I don't want to cause problems," she whispered. "You're not the one causing them," he said. "Follow me." He called all house staff to the main hall. Everyone assembled quickly. Maids, cooks, guards, drivers. The moment Lila entered the room behind him, the murmurs began. Alexander raised a hand. Silence fell instantly. "This is Lila," he said. "She is under my protection. She is living here. She is helping Maya with her studies. Anyone who mistreats her, embarrasses her, or looks down on her." He paused, his voice sharpening. "Will be removed from this house permanently." Gasps rippled through the staff. Maya squeezed Lila's arm proudly. Lila stood frozen, unsure if she was dreaming. Alexander continued, "Judging a child because she doesn't have a home is unacceptable. If that's a problem for anyone here, you can collect your things and leave now." No one moved. "Good," he said, "then treat her with respect." Meeting dismissed. As the staff dispersed, much quieter now, Lila whispered, "Sir, no one has ever defended me before." Alexander nodded once. Get used to it. But the real trouble, the real escalation, hadn't started yet. Because someone in that room didn't like what Alexander said. And they were ready to make Lila's life much harder. Lila stormed into the hospital and like a woman powered by pure adrenaline. The corridor was still buzzing with guards, staff, and curious murmurs, but she didn't slow down once. When she pushed open the door, she found Alexander Reed pacing beside his daughter's bed, his suit jacket thrown over a chair, his tie loose, his hair completely disheveled. For the first time, he didn't look like the billionaire titan everyone feared. He looked like a terrified father. "Where is she?" Lila demanded, breathless. Alexander turned sharply. Relief washed over his face, real relief. "Lila," he said, stepping forward. Thank you for coming. I didn't know if you'd still want anything to do with us after. There's no time for that, Lila cut in. Tell me exactly what happened. He took a shaky breath. They tried to snatch her from the gate. If one of the guards hadn't jumped in, he stopped, his voice breaking for half a second. They were hired. Someone paid them. A lot. A cold wave ran through Lila. Paid? Paid by who? Before he could answer, a doctor walked in. Good news. Your daughter is stable. She wants to see Miss Lila. Alexander blinked. She asked for you. Lila nodded and followed the doctor into the inner room. Tiny Maya Reed lay on the bed, her arm wrapped, her forehead bruised. But the moment she saw Lila, her entire face lit up. You came, Maya whispered. Of course, Lila said, sitting beside her gently. How do you feel? Like someone threw me on the floor, Maya said with a small smile. But I didn't forget what you taught me. Lila smiled back. Which part? When you're scared, Maya whispered, you think about who you want to be, not what's happening around you. That broke Lila a little. You're stronger than you know, she told her. Maya reached out and squeezed her hand. Daddy said he was wrong about you. Lila blinked. He said that? Yeah, Maya nodded. He said he messed up big time and he's going to fix everything. Before Lila could ask anything else, Alexander appeared at the door. His voice was softer now. Lila, can I talk to you outside? She kissed Maya's forehead and stepped out. The moment the door closed, Alexander drew in a long shaking breath, as if preparing himself. You were right, he finally said. About everything. What do you mean? I found out who hired the men. His jaw tightened. My business partner, James Audley. Lila didn't know much about corporate politics, but even she recognized that name. Audley, Alexander's right-hand man. What would he gain from hurting your daughter? Me stepping down, Alexander said, voice low. He wants the company. I refused to sell him a controlling share last week. Now he's trying to scare me into backing out. Lila stared at him. But why involve your daughter? To hit me where it hurts, he said quietly. And it worked. She let out a slow, horrified breath. So what are you going to do? Alexander looked at her in a way he'd never looked at anyone before, like he was truly listening. I want your help, he said. Not with business. With Maya. She trusts you, more than she trusts anyone. His voice tightened. I need someone who can teach her, guide her, protect her. Someone who won't lie to her. Someone who thinks like you. Lila swallowed hard. You're asking me to be in her life, he confirmed. As her teacher. For real this time. And I'll make sure you're protected and supported. Lila stayed silent for a moment, thinking of everything, the streets. The rejections, the insults, the humiliation, and then, Maya, I'll do it, she said quietly. Relief and gratitude washed over Alexander's face so deeply it almost startled her. Thank you, he said, genuine, humble, nothing like the man from weeks ago. But before she could respond, 2 security agents rushed over. Sir, we found something, one of them said. You need to see this. They led them to a table where a bag had been opened. Inside were documents, burner phones, and stacks of cash. One labeled envelope stood out. Alexander read final warning. Lila felt her pulse throb. This is serious, she whispered. He nodded. We're moving into full protection mode. But then something happened neither of them expected. Maya's doctor rushed out. She's asking for both of you. When they walked back in, Maya sat up a little straighter, fidgeting with her blanket. Daddy, yes, sweetheart, can Lila stay with us tonight? Alexander hesitated. Not because he didn't want it, but because he seemed unsure what the right choice was. Maya, he said gently. Lila has her own place. Maya frowned, then looked at Lila. You told me you live somewhere far. But I want you to stay. Please. Lila and Alexander exchanged a long look. Something unspoken passed between them. All right, Alexander finally said. If Lila agrees. Lila smiled. I'll stay. Maya relaxed, smiling contentedly. As night settled, Alexander escorted Lila to the private lounge beside Maya's room. It was quiet, warm, peacefully dim. Lila, Alexander said suddenly. I want to apologize. She turned, confused. For what? For how I treated you, he said. For judging you, for humiliating you, for thinking you weren't worthy of being near my daughter. A sting hit her chest. I was trying to protect her, he continued, but I ended up pushing away the one person she connected with the most. Lila looked at him. It hurt. she said honestly. But I didn't come back for you. He nodded slowly. I know, you came back for her. That's exactly why I need you. There was a long pause. Then Alexander stepped closer, voice lower. And, I hope one day you can forgive me. Lila didn't answer. Not yet, but she didn't walk away either. Before either of them could say another word, the door burst open, security rushing in again. Sir, James Otley has arrived at the hospital. Alexander's eyes darkened. Of course he has. He wants to pretend he's concerned. But the guard shook his head. No sir, he's not here to see your daughter. He's here with the police. Lila felt her body tense. The police, Alexander echoed. Why? The guard swallowed. He's accusing you of orchestrating the attack. What? Lila gasped. Alexander's jaw clenched, fury surging. He thinks he can flip this on me, Alexander muttered. Arrest me, take control of everything while I'm out of the picture. Security moved into formation. Sir, we need to move you to a secure room. Now. Lila grabbed Alexander's arm. What do we do? He looked at her calmly. We fight back, he said. And you stay with Maya no matter what happens. The door swung open. Police officers stepped in. Mr. Alexander Reed, the lead officer said. We need you to come with us. Lila froze. Maya's soft voice echoed in her mind. Don't leave me, stay with me. Alexander met Lila's eyes. He looked more human than ever. Stay with her, he repeated softly. As the officers escorted him out, chaos exploded. Reporters gathering, security scattering, alarms rising. Lila stood at the center of the storm, fear swirling around her. But inside her, a fire lit. For Maya, for justice, for the truth. And the truth was about to shake the entire city. If you want me to rewrite, checkmark part 1, 2, 3, 4 using these